There was supposed to be this really cool cutaway, but filming got messed up, so this is what we have. Testing 1, 2, 3, just to make sure the audio is still good, and it is. Okay. My apologies for being late on this video, and then also pardon the mess. We're gonna talk about that in a moment here. I do have a script that I'm reading off of because I don't want to be rambling too much. I'm Trevor, and back in June of 2021, I bought a bus. Thanks to my friends and family, I was able to turn my 2007 GMC Savannah 3500 Thomas-built bus into a camper. Well, for now. After 1 year and 2 months, the bus was Minnesota bound on what was intended to be the first part of my journey on the road. I ended up staying in Thief River Falls for 2 years, and I even ended up becoming a company man, which is sort of a joke because we were all contract workers. I even got married in July 7th, 2023. For the full recap of everything leading to this point, please check out the link in the description. There will be a playlist. I would hate for you to just jump into this and miss everything that happened before. Let's start with some updates since November 24th, 2023. That was my last video. I did end up leaving Thief River Falls. If you didn't see my October 2nd Instagram post, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and the original prognosis for him was that he had 6 to 12 months left to live. As of March 22nd, we are in month 7. I did leave earlier than intended because of my father's diagnosis. I was growing frustrated with work, and I was growing frustrated with my life outside of work, and by the time I left Thief River Falls, other than a few friends, there wasn't anything else left for me. And that leads me to the next part of this. When you choose to make part of your life publicly available, such as in a YouTube channel, I feel like you owe your audience a certain level of transparency. That said, Angela and I are separated and currently going through a divorce. The early stages of this separation started in January of 2024. It was not my decision, but I do want to clarify that Angela and I are still on good terms. In fact, I spoke to her last week when I asked her permission to say all of this in this video. And with that, that's all that I'm going to be sharing out of respect for Angela. She may or may not pop up in anecdotes because I have a lot of good memories with her. So where am I now? As of today, I am in northern Georgia. The Disco Star has a nice spot in my parents' driveway. Parents live on the 2nd floor and my grandmother lives on the 1st floor. The state of the Disco Star. I have made a few changes and modifications here and there. I did end up converting one dinette bench into some shelved storage. I added this little side table that folds down for my CPAP. It really comes in handy when you're watching a movie too. It's a nice place to put a bucket of popcorn. Those aren't the only changes with the Disco Star. There are some problems. Last year, Angela had flipped her truck on a trip in Michigan. She was okay, but the truck unfortunately wasn't. On the trip to go rescue her, I blew a head gasket in the Disco Star. I did get that head gasket repaired, but unfortunately, the Disco Star hasn't driven the same since. According to the mechanic that changed the head gasket, he thinks the bearings are shot on it. As a relatively cheap and relatively easy fix, I did end up upgrading the oil pump. Right now there's an unknown transmission leak. I haven't been able to look into it. I'm hoping it's an easy to replace rubber hose. On top of that, the Disco Star has a dead battery. It might be jumpable, but I haven't tried yet. All that said, I do have a new daily driver right now. It is a 2010 Toyota Venza purchased from my uncle. Thank you very much, Uncle Bob. Since getting the car, I've done quite a few things to it. My number one priority when I got the car was to install a dash cam because frankly, people are crazy. I did change out the wiper blades. I only use Bosch Icon windshield wiper blades. The performance is just unparalleled compared to any of the normal blades out there. They're the best according to Redditors, and I use them on all of my family's vehicles. I also upgraded the brakes, choosing to install drilled and slotted rotors because I have a lot of mountain driving in this area. Those were easy to change out because I was already changing the front brake calipers. One of them had gone bad, and while I was changing out that brake caliper, I painted it too. This way it's a little easier to find a gray crossover in a parking lot full of crossovers, SUVs, and station wagons, most of which are gray. I installed those tiny little side view mirrors because they really assist with parking and they get rid of blind spots. I replaced some roof trim on the top of the Venza, thinking that would repair a roof leak. Spoiler alert, it did not. I still have to do that. I did a partial transmission fluid change. I refinished the headlights. This is a 2010 vehicle. The headlights were starting to yellow. After I refinished them, I coated them with some gloss clear coat that is supposedly UV resistant, so hopefully never gonna have that problem again. To make a long story short, I also changed out the oil cooler lines. I'm going to have a separate video on that coming up soon. I've even done a little bit of body work, starting with some dent repair. That leads me to my current prospects and projects. Right now, family is pretty much my entire life. The only guarantee I have in this life is that the time I have with my family members is limited. I want to take advantage of the time that I have left with my dad, and I also want to take advantage of the time I have left with my grandmother, who's in her mid to late 90s right now. To help keep things financed, I've been doing a lot of reselling. I still have some memorabilia and collectibles boxed up in my parents' garage. And that leads me to my current projects. As you can see behind me, I've been working on turning this garage into a functional storage and workspace. We had some severe weather a few weeks back and found out the hard way that there was not good drainage around the perimeter of the outside of the house. So the garage interior got flooded and part of my grandmother's living area got flooded as well. Unfortunately, when the garage flooded, a lot of things got damaged, including part of my record collection. My parents had a dehumidifier from their old house, and that really came in handy when everything got flooded, especially in my grandmother's house. To help make the space a little bit more functional, I've done a few things so far. I added in some of the black storage racks you can probably see on the left and right of me. I also implemented a storage bin system using the existing rafters. I got rid of this work light and added in some new lights. And I still have more to go. Right now, the current projects are adding in a workbench, rerouting some power into an additional outlet on the back wall, and of course, sorting through some of those boxes that I have. After this garage space is a little bit cleaner and more organized, I have some things to do on the Venza, including replacing the front wheel bearings, repairing the windshield wiper fluid reservoir, which has 2 holes in it for some reason. And since there's a lot of deer in this area, I do want to add a push bar onto the front of the vehicle, just in case we have some collisions. Still waiting on replacement parts from the eBay seller. I see you out there. So what does the future look like? My future, right now, I genuinely have no idea. I'm currently looking for some more gainful means of employment. Hopefully I can keep my Mondays and Fridays off because that seems to be when my dad has his doctor's appointments. And I actually bowl with my dad on a Monday night bowling league, which is something I never thought I would ever say. But what about the future of this channel? I do have a backlog of some bus-related videos that I want to put out soon. I'm also going to be putting out some Venza repair videos on this channel. YouTube seems to be lacking some mid-tier quality videos on doing repairs on the Venza. For the most part, I've been able to find some content-rich videos. However, the production detracts from the helpfulness, and I would like to change that. I'm also going to be starting some day-in-the-life type videos. That said, I would like to have some sort of semblance of a schedule. Maybe day in the life videos drop on this particular day of the week, Venza videos on this day of the week, bus videos on this day of the week. That way you know that if a video came out, it's related to that kind of content. I don't know, I'm still figuring it out. And with all of that, I'm not really sure if a name change is on the horizon for this channel. If you want to give me some ideas of what you want to see, maybe let me know down below. That's all I really have for today. I do want to say thank you all for watching and participating, dropping me comments here and there, seeing how I'm doing. It means a lot. If this is your first time dropping by the channel, thank you for watching. It's a tiny little channel, and if it stays that way, I'm perfectly happy with it as long as you are too. And if you want to weigh in on the name change, weigh in below. Thank you all, and I hope you guys have a great day, and look out for more content soon. I think that's it. Bye.